I had an interesting conversation with a stranger recently. A stranger that has nothing to prove to me. So we were all talking honestly to each other. And we're talking about the things that are happening in Nigeria, where I am based. And then we talked about men and women, what is happening to us, the evolution of men and women in Nigeria, what is happening and how we are able to adapt and how we have been adapting, And then we got to the part where he said something. He said something that made me ask myself, like, what the fuck are we even doing as a society in Nigeria? What the fuck do we think we're doing? Why are we fooling ourselves? So he said that he believes, not just him, his friends, and the people in his circle, and he was saying mostly men, not just the people in his circle. He knows other men, bosses. In fact, he believes that this is what 90% of men in Nigeria are doing. He said he believes that any woman that is successful in Nigeria, any woman that is successful, be it in business, in politics, in any aspects, any of the institutions in Nigeria, any woman that has gone through it and came out successfully has fucked a man to get it. Am I supposed to say fuck? Had to sleep her way to getting it. And I'm like, no, he cannot say that. I started to argue. And my argument came blindly because I wanted to talk from my own perspective based on I've been able to achieve some certain things in life and a man has nothing to do with it. And I believe I can achieve more. So I wanted to talk from that aspect and argue with him. He told me I should calm down. That I should calm down. That he wants to explain something to me. I'm like, okay, please explain. He said that there is no man that is nice to a woman. There is no man that is actually nice to a woman without wanting something in return. That every man, every freaking man, especially a man liking a woman, every freaking man that likes a woman, every freaking man that wants to do something with a woman, either friendship, relationship, businessship, anything, that the man is always having, that mindset of he must benefit something, he must get something, there is something that he must get out of it. And now imagine a man in power. That's what he told me. Now I should imagine that this thing is generally for men, talking from Nigeria, generally for men in Nigeria, that this is generally for men, both poor, rich, intelligent, dumb, smart, religious, spiritual, that every man, this is how they are built. He was trying to explain this to me. This particular person that was saying this is a millennial, just like me. But then he has actually mingled, he has traveled. He told me what he has done, like he has traveled to so many countries and he has actually mingled. He was the kind of person that traveled a lot for school. And because school is the best way to learn, if you want to really learn, the best way for you to learn is traveling. Did I say school? Traveling is the best way for you to learn. So when you travel, you get more exposure and you learn better. I wish I had money because that was me. Anyways, I'll still do it. Back to the gist. So he said, now imagine a man in power or imagine a man with money. That whatever the man is doing with whosoever he's doing it with, he's always expecting a return. He's always expecting a return. And that he knows for sure that every seat, every office, government office, private office, if there is a man in the seat, if there's a man in charge and you're a girl and you want something from that job, you want to be, probably you want promotion, you want whatever it is, that you must give something. And he explained, he went in deep, like I was like this. And I knew this, I've always known this, because every man that I've met while I was growing up actually wanted something from me. The ones that wanted to help me wanted something from me. the ones that wanted to help me, or they actually wanted something from me. So I knew this. But at one point in my life, I decided to I started to I detached from men, and I had no relationship with a man for years, and I watched myself build something, and I started making money from it. So when he was talking about success, I was like, yes, I was able to do something and get money. So I was coming from that aspect. But then he was not telling me that I should relax, that what do I have? I don't have anything. Actually, I don't have anything. He was telling me that he means success. He means a woman that can be able to buy G-Wagon. Now, if you're not born into it, if they did not give birth to you into it, you did not come into it as you came into a wealthy family, you come from the poor family, which is 90% of Nigerians. 90% of Nigerians are poor. Some would like to believe that they're average, but Charlie, it is either you're wealthy or you're man is paying me. Okay. So I was saying, if you were not born into it, right? If they don't, born you inside that money, then you have to do something to get it. And when he said this, and he explained this well, and I thought about everything, and I sat down, thought about when I was growing up, how it has been, and then I also thought about the people around me, almost all the girls around me, how when they get something, when they do something and they become really, really when I mean success, not I have 10 million in my account, no. The ones that are able to buy things. When I started seeing how it is one of these men. And this thing made me start to ask questions I was asking myself, why then am I even fooling myself, thinking that, I am going to be a good girl in this society. This society don't reward good girls. This society was not built to reward good girls. Now, what is a society? A society is who we are, the individuals in the society. And if we have been programmed to think in a certain way, we are going to act in a certain way that reflects what we are thinking. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. A society is made up of a man and a woman. Now, if all men cannot give you something without wanting something in return, if all men cannot help you, be nice to you, be in your space without wanting something from you, and they all know that this is who they are, they all know that this is who they freaking are, and they are all in power, they are all in the seats, they are all, because they were the ones that were exposed, they were the ones that were allowed to have incomes, to start making income in early times. They were the ones that were responsible for all these things, so they are still the one partly sitting in these spaces. So if they are like that, and then we women were programmed to not even have access to these things at all, and we don't, the only way we know we can have access to it is by being with these men, is by associating with these men, is by sleeping with these men. Then why do we have to be hiding it and saying, oh, you have to be a good girl, when we know that if you are being a good girl and you're not giving it, you're not giving them, you're not getting anything? Why are we pretending that we are all good girls? Why are we pretending that we have to live a life of being a good girl, when we know that when we are good girls, and what is good girls? Being pure, keeping yourself, it means that we're not going to get anything. We're not going to get rewarded, because the society is made up of two genders, a man and a woman, and these men have been programmed not to give without expecting something. So if you're not giving, you're not getting. That is what it means. So the richest of the richest, the powerful of the powerful, wouldn't have any relationship with you unless they are benefiting something from you. So why are we not pretending that we don't want to associate with those ones and do it freely, openly, rather than hide what we are doing and say we are being good girls? And then some of us are actually really being the good girls, and while some of us are saying they are good girls, but they are giving and collecting, and then they're not saying, oh, their business is doing this, oh, they have been working so hard. What we fucking pretending? Society is a fucking joke. At this point, I believe society is a joke. A society is a fucking joke. Because what we're saying does not tally with what we're doing. what we're saying does not tally. It's not. Why all the performance? Like, why are we performing? What the fuck are we performing for? Why are we performing? I'm not going to say I was shocked from what he said, even though at that moment while he was saying it, I was like this, my mouth, my jaw was almost on the floor, like, because he explained it in detail, how they think, how they move. This is a fucking stranger that has nothing to prove to me. Like, he has nothing. He explained this in deep fucking detail, and I was like, I wasn't really shocked because I knew this. Comparing the things that I have been through, I knew that this is how some of these men, okay, so probably I was limiting it to some of these men, because most of the people in my environment there, the ones that had money small, if you ask them for something or tell them that, oh, probably even respecting them as an uncle, saying this is something that you need, the way they now start looking at you, the way they now start doing their faces, you be like, what have I done wrong? I just asked. So I knew that this is how they are. I knew that this is how they are. But I thought it was like limited. When this guy explained to me how 90 fucking percent, and why they were like, why we were growing up, is a little bit older than me, but he's still a millennial. That why he was growing up, most of his female friends that would buy some expensive car and come and be fronting to him and his friends, that they all knew that these girls were getting their money from either ministers or House of Reps or governors or this, that they knew it, but they would keep quiet because they know who their fellow man is. They know that even though if it's them that is on the seat, that is what they will still. He was saying it, and I was like, Charlie. So they know this, and we women, so let me just say, it's either we women, we don't know what we're actually doing, or we're all pretending. It has to be one of these things. It has to be either you don't know what you're doing, or you're just pretending. Because tell me why I want to live a life where I do not have access to one of the most important things in this reality, which is money. One of the most important things to surviving in this particular reality is money. Money is one of the most important things. Now, when you have your health, the next thing is money, right? I don't want to call health, because health is something that if you don't have money, you can actually you can have, from eating well, so many other things that you can do to be healthy. You don't need money for that. But then to survive rent, food, you need money. And we all know this. We all know that we need money. We all know that we need to, if we want to live a luxury life, expensive life, we want to live a life, even though it's not luxury or expensive, at least a life where we are relaxed, where we are financially independent or free, where we are financially free. Freedom is it. Where we are financially free and safe. We have to do this. We have to play this. So why will I not pretend that I'm not doing it? Why will I pretend I'm not playing the game when these men expect you to play the game? If you know you want to benefit, if you know you want to get something, if you know you want to live that life, they expect you to play the game. They expect you not to be naive. They expect you to open it. And then we're here believing that we have to be good, live as a good girl to get rewarded, when society does not reward. See, society doesn't reward the good girls. In fact, society mocks the good girls. Society renders the good girls. Society belittle the good girls. Society insults the good girls. But then a lot of us are still convinced that this is the way we need to live our life. A lot of us are still convinced that this is the way we need to go about living our life. Are we playing? I'm still gonna ask this. Is society just a joke? Is society just full of, I'm not gonna even say dumb men anymore, I'm gonna say dumb women. Is society just full of dumb women, or what? I don't understand. I made a decision, personal decision, that I'm going to stay away from men, because from the moment where I started interacting with them, when I started allowing them into my space and into my energy field, like having intercourse with them, I had them for like 9 years, and then not 9 years, sorry, I had them for like 8 years. And when I got to 28, I told myself that I was going to stay away from this man, and I was going to focus, try to center back to myself and try to understand what is happening in the world I live in, because it felt like this world was becoming something else, and I needed to understand who I was in the something else that the world was becoming. And when I took a break from men, that's when I realized that all this while that I have been living my life as a good girl in Nigeria, at first I started out as a good girl, and then I rebelled and I went back to being a good girl. I was like, okay, does it mean that I was just fooling myself? Because society, what I started understanding about the society that I live in, the one that is being operated here in Nigeria, when I started understanding, I just realized that it was created and it didn't have me in mind. It didn't have my gender in mind. In fact, that was when I got my piercings, I was like, it did not have me in mind. It did not have me based on, they don't want me to really express myself or experience a life where I am very expressive. I'm able to live my life how I want it. It was created and they boxed me in. And I didn't know this until I had to separate from men. When I separated from men, it was like my sense came back to me. Maybe my sense came back to me, or I got to the age where, the brain is fully matured and it is fully ready for one of it. But I just knew that when I got to that age, my late 20s to my early 30s, it was like, woo! And when I did that move of, I'm intentionally abstaining from men, from sex, for men, I told myself, when I come back, I'm going to come back. By then I'll probably meet someone that I fall in love with, and he's going to have me fresh, clean, like I'm clean, because I was going to go through a detox. So like I'm clean, my energy field is free, I've reset my body, I've freed myself, and now he can have me. That was my plan, that was my intention. But then when I started deconstructing society and deconstructing this world in general, I was like, what the fuck? I was still doing the same stupid, foolish thing that they taught me while I was religious, or while I was, pretending to be, not pretending, I was being a good girl. While I was being a good girl, I was doing the same thing, which is this body that is supposed to be mine. I was leaving it for somebody else. I was not using my body to express myself. I wasn't, and I was planning to now come into a stage in my life after detoxing where I am giving the body again to somebody and allowing them to experience my body for me. I'm not like, what the fuck? So there was no way that they created a space for me to express myself or experience my own body or experience my own self. It was all about this man, and I was just boxed in. And as soon as I detached and I realized what was happening, I said, no. When I am out of this stage where I am abstaining, I am going to fuck 3 niggas at a time. I don't care. I don't care about what the fuck they think about what I'm doing. I don't care, but they're going to have money, and they're going to give me money, and they're going to spend more money. See, that's one of the reasons why I'm still in that stage of abstaining, because the people that are around me do not have the kind of money that I'm looking for. The only person that is going to touch this body, the spend that you will spend, because that is one of the ways, or one of the important things to survive in this reality. So if you want me and you like me, you want me to survive. You want me to survive, right? It means that you're going to help me survive. If not, this body belongs to me and I'm going to enjoy it. That's how my mind shifted. Until I detached, until I realized that if you fucking play the good girl in this particular reality, this society, you are going to end up coming out at the bottom. You're going to end up coming out at the bottom. You're going to end up you will not enjoy this life. You will not enjoy this your body. You will not enjoy nothing. You will not enjoy any freaking thing. They will do you 2-0. because you will not enjoy here on earth 1-0. You will die and you go to that heaven that they told you that good women go to, and you find out that there is no heaven. 2-0. I end my case. I just wanted to say this. I end my case.